Let's go to favorite fantasy value tied to Detroit Lions this season. Let's start off with Jared, the artist formerly known as Golfle. When he's with the Rams, certainly not been the case with the artist formerly known as the Hello Kitties of Detroit. Jared Goff at quarterback 8 is the ADP right now, 69.25 overall. So I ask you the question, Horvat, Jared Goff at that valuation, overvalued, undervalued, or properly valued?
Yeah, sorry, Kenny. Overvalued, man. I don't know that I have him top 15 this season, right? The offensive line is not going to be what it was, right? You can't lose a guy like Frank Ragnow and not skip a beat. I know the Eagles were able to do it, losing Jason Kelsey, but look at the other 4 guys on that offensive line, right? Also, more outdoor games. I know some of them come early. Still a ton of weapons. I'm not saying he's going to completely fall off a cliff, but 3 straight seasons going over 4,000 yards passing, man, I don't know if that happens again. To play devil's advocate, the case I could make for him to throw 4,000, maybe even 5,000, that defense may be horrendous. And they may not be as good as they were last year when they won 15 games. So I would have him outside the top 10, definitely. So I'm going to say severely overvalued here.
Let's see. I have got Jared Goff at quarterback 13, quarterback 8. Yeah, very overvalued. Totally agree. Mike Clay has got him way low. Listen to this projection. Clay at ESPN has got him for 3,791 yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 11 INTs. Not too shabby. But Goff doesn't run. So he's got 60 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. He's got him a quarterback 21. As crazy as that sounds. He was quarterback 7 last year. Yes, I do think they regress, take a backward step this season. He was number 5 at adjusted completion percentage last year. Number 6 in deep ball targets. Number 4 in a red zone completion percentage. Number 8 in catchable target percentage thrown. And number 1 in clean pocket percentage. We already got a couple of significant injuries on the offensive line. We talked about it earlier tonight with Lomas Brown. Go back and listen to that interview if you missed it here on the podcast version of BetMGM tonight, wherever you get your podcast. But he's got the 4th hardest overall strength of schedule for fantasy quarterback. So, yeah, I think he's overvalued as well. I will not be going the extra mile by any stretch to acquire the services of Jared Goff in fantasy this year. Let's go to Jahmyr Gibbs. A lot of people are going to stretch that go-go gadget arm, likely in the top 5 overall picks. RB3 is the position ADP, 5.23 overall and a half-point PPR setting. So Horvat, overvalued, undervalued, or properly valued on Jahmyr Gibbs at RB3.
Yes, sir. I'll say properly valued here. I would only have Bijan Robinson and maybe Saquon Barkley. I say maybe Saquon Barkley. Definitely Saquon Barkley over Jahmyr Gibbs, man. I love what I saw from him. Even when he was at Georgia Tech, I love him as a pass catcher, as a route runner, as a running back. And last year, we got to see more touches because of the David Montgomery injury. And his numbers when Montgomery was not on the field obviously increased. And even with Montgomery, was still a top 5 running back. 1,412 yards, 16 touchdowns, which tied him for first in the National Football League. Averaged 5.6 yards per carry. Still had 250 carries, which was right outside the top 10 at number 11. So I'm going to say properly valued. I bet some Gibbs Offensive Player of the Year. I think he's definitely top 5. I'll go with 3.
Yeah, I think he is properly valued. I actually have him right now at RB3, so exactly where he is going. Mike Clay's got him projected for 213 carries, 1,049 yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, 48 catches, 444 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Also at RB3, he finished RB2 in fantasy points per game last year. I think it's going to be close to 55%, maybe as high as 60% opportunity share, and that's split with Dave Montgomery. And Montgomery's going to be a thorn in the side. He's got to get the occasional goal line touch. But you look at Gibbs, the advanced analytics just lights out. Number 3 in total yards created, number 14 in yard per attempt, number 5 in total missed tackles forced. I still think this offensive line, despite the injuries, is going to be an upper half unit at a minimum. And they do love running the football. So, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. And plus, with his receiving data, the guy's a stud. Bar none. It's indisputable. He is worth every penny at RB3. All right, mandatory Montgomery, my guy. RB21, 112.04. Overvalued, undervalued, or properly valued Horvat. And there's only one answer.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to say properly valued, man. You could say undervalued here outside the top 20 because, I mean, he was hurt last year. He's still going to get the touches. He's going to see the goal line, the red zone touches. Last year, even with the injury, still had 12 touchdowns, which would tie him for ninth among all players in the NFL. 775 yards still. So I still think he's a top 20 back. I'll say about properly valued.
Yeah, I say slightly undervalued, of course. I love him like a child. He also had 36 catches for 31 receiving yards last year. So I'm a fan of him, to say the least. Get around probably 45% of the opportunity share. Many of those touches coming inside the red zone, where he was number 13, despite the handful of games missed in red zone touches last season with 53. He was number 12 in fantasy points per opportunity, number 18 total missed tackles force, number 18 in yak per attempt. I love him so much. Dave Montgomery, slightly undervalued. I will spend absurd amounts of money on him in a salary cap / auction draft. They do every year, and my league knows it, and they bid me up, and I can't resist. Tequila, that is the blame. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver 4, 9.23 is the ADP. Revealed they had a cleanup procedure on his knee last week, but should be good to go for the start of training camp at WR4. Is he overvalued, undervalued, or properly valued, Horvey?
Slightly, and I'll say slightly overvalued just because of the injury, because of the emergence of JMO, who last year the route tree expanded as well. I think Laporta is going to see more targets this year if he could stay healthy. And, I mean, it's just so picky with these receivers. I would have him probably 6. Chase, number 1. Jefferson, 2. CeeDee Lamb, 3. Puka or Neighbors, 4 and 5. And then probably St. Brown right outside the top 5 at 6 coming into the year. So I'm going to say slightly overvalued.
Let's see. I got Amon-Ra. Yeah, I got him at 6. And he's going wide receiver 4. Yeah, I say slightly overvalued as well. Mike Clay's kind of projected for 140 targets, 106 receptions, 1,124 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's got him at WR5, 8.4 targets per game. He's got the easiest fantasy projected strength of schedule for a wide receiver, which is outstanding. He's number 88 last season in his was it? I don't even know what category that is. I'm just going to avoid it now. He was number 15 in total yak. Oh, that was ADOT, average at the target 88. Number 15 in average yards of separation per target. Number 12 in route wins. Number 17 in contested catch rate. Again, another stud. He's a du jour. A guy does a little bit of everything. But yeah, I still say at wide receiver 4, he's a little bit overvalued. All right, let's go to J-Mo. Oh, actually, no, we're not going to go J-Mo. Let's do a prop stop first. Let's go Jared Goff. Over under 28.5 passing touchdowns. The under a minus 120. The over a plus 100. What say you?
I'll go under, even though it's minus 120. I think it's minus 120 for a reason. He's went over this number 3 straight seasons, but he's also had Ben Johnson as his play caller and OC. Before that, you would have to go all the way back to 2018. The Super Bowl run with the Rams when he had 32. After that, though, 22, 20, 19. I don't think he completely falls off a cliff, but I could see him throwing exactly 28 touchdown passes this year. So I lean under.
Yeah, I'm taking the under. I don't think it's going to be that high. I mean, Clay's got him for 25. I think he's around 26. The strength of schedule is the 4th hardest again for fantasy quarterbacks. I think he does take a slight step back where it's 20.5 is aggressive. I know I got to, slap the wall for some extra juice there, minus 120, but I'm a willing buyer even at that price. What about Jahmyr Gibbs? 1,050.5 rush yards, minus 115 either way.
Yes, sir. Bet this one, actually. Over on Gibbs. I also kind of like his touchdowns, like him to at least be in the running for Offensive Player of the Year, even if Montgomery stays healthy and gets his 14 to 16 carries or whatever it is per game, and it's a 60-40 or 50-50 even split sheer snap. I like Gibbs to have a big year this year, man. You can't keep him off the field, right? So I think at least 1,100 over for me.
Yeah, and injuries do happen. God forbid it does happen to Montgomery yet again. Hopefully it doesn't happen to Gibbs. So let's say he plays at least 15 games. Maybe Montgomery misses a couple of games. Maybe Montgomery doesn't miss a single game. Again, I think it's going to be closer to 60% of the opportunity share. The guy is electric. He's got so much lightning in those wheels. Yeah, over on 1,050.5 rush yards. How about J-Mo? Jameson Williams, 875.5 receiving yards. And it's only minus 110 either way. What do you say?
Yeah, I'd lean over, man. I might actually bet this over. I would say he's an 1,000-yard receiver. I know you still have St. Brown. He's dealing with an injury, and they're saying that he's going to be just fine for week 1. But J-Mo's route tree expanded. Looked like the complete package last year. Again, you worry a little bit with the new OC coming in, but as long as he stays out of trouble, and I think he will, I think he smashes the over here.
I totally agree, so much so. Hey, Kenny, Daddy won.
Yeah.
Daddy need. Daddy gotta have it. Give it to me, Kenny. Yeah, there it is. Folks, he's going to absolutely obliterate this number. 875.5. Oh, it's a gift from the gambling gods. I think he's going to crack 1,000. He did that last year, barely, but I think he's going to have a career establishing year. I mean, Dan Campbell believes he's really going to explode. It could be like a minimum of 1050 in the end, 1100, way over with him. He was number 12 in YAC, number 16 yards per catch, number 19 in route win percentage. Follow the advanced data and listen to Dan Campbell. Breakout year for J-Mo. All right, let's go to a team lean. Over under 10.5 wins, minus 105 on the over, minus 115 on the under. What do you say?
Yep, I bet this one under. You could call me a hater. I don't think I'm a hater. I worry a lot about that defense, even with Aiden Hutchinson coming back, hopefully fully healthy, man. Who else is your other pass rusher you like? Marcus Davenport? Still have some concerns about the secondary. Love the safeties, don't get me wrong. More the corners. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I worry about what you lost up front in a guy like Frank Ragnow. And I also worry about the loss of Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, your two coordinators. So I'm going under, man. Tougher schedule, more outdoor games for Jared Goff. The Bears are going to be better. Packers should be better. Under for me.
Yeah, tough overall strength of schedule. That is no doubt about it. Under for me as well. I think it's 10 maximum for the Detroit Lions. All right.